Have you ever heard of ships and people vanishing without a trace? And that too in a mysterious stretch of ocean called the Bermuda Triangle?
Today, we're diving into the stories and the truths behind this enigma. So get ready, because we're about to plunge into the depths of the Bermuda Triangle mystery.
Let's start the Bermuda Triangle mystery.
There's this one place on Earth that is so wrapped in mystery, people have actually nicknamed it the planet's black hole. It's a patch of ocean where, for hundreds of years, legends say huge ships and even modern airplanes have just vanished, swallowed up without ever leaving a single trace. So today, we are diving deep into the legend of the Bermuda Triangle.
I want you to picture this for a second. You're out sailing, it's a perfect day. The ocean is calm, the sun's shining, your compass is pointing straight to north, and everything's fine. Then, just like that, it all changes. The sky goes dark with these really ominous clouds. The calm sea just erupts into a violent storm. And the really terrifying part, your radio goes dead and your compass just starts spinning like a top, completely useless. Well, if that ever happens to you, the stories say you've just sailed into the Bermuda Triangle. And yeah, that terrifying, completely disorienting experience, that is the absolute core of the legend that surrounds this infamous piece of the ocean. For centuries, sailors and pilots have told these chilling stories, earning it that name, Earth's black hole. So where exactly are we talking about? Well, the Bermuda Triangle isn't just some small spot on a map. It's a massive 500,000 square kilometer stretch of the North Atlantic Ocean. Its three corners are Bermuda, Miami in Florida, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. And when you connect those dots, they form a nearly perfect equilateral triangle, which is, exactly how it got its name.
Now, what's really fascinating is that this isn't some new internet conspiracy theory. Nope. The stories of strange things happening in this area go back for centuries, long before it was ever called the Bermuda Triangle. It used to be known by an even more sinister name, the Devil's Triangle.
Believe it or not, the first documented weirdness comes from Christopher Columbus himself. Back in 1492, he wrote in his log about strange, dancing lights on the horizon and, this is the key part, his compass giving really bizarre readings. You fast forward to 1918 and the mystery gets a whole lot bigger with the vanishing of the USS Cyclops, a massive Navy ship. Then, in 1945, you get the most famous incident of them all, the disappearance of Flight 19. The name we all use today, the Bermuda Triangle, wasn't even made up until 1964, in a magazine article that kind of pulled all these historical mysteries together into one big story.
Okay, so let's dig into the specific cases, the really chilling stories that cemented the triangle's terrifying reputation. Back in March of 1918, the USS Cyclops, a U.S. Navy ship that was nearly 550 feet long, sailed into the triangle. On board were 306 crew members and passengers. The ship was just never seen again. And that right there, that's the real heart of this mystery. It didn't just sink, it vanished. No SOS call, no lifeboats, no debris floating on the water, nothing. A 19,000-ton ship just gone, as if it was never even there. But the story that truly launched this whole legend into pop culture was definitely Flight 19. In December 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers took off from Florida for what was supposed to be a routine training flight. We're talking 14 experienced airmen. But about an hour and a half into their mission, the radio calls started getting confused. They reported their compasses were malfunctioning. And then, just silence. And if that wasn't strange enough, a rescue plane sent out to find them, with 13 crewmen aboard, also disappeared from radar that very same day. The final radio transmissions from the flight leader were just frantic and disoriented. His last clear message to the control tower really hit on that one recurring theme we see in all these stories: total instrument failure. He said their compass is not working, he had no idea which way was west, and then they were just gone.
I mean, with stories this bizarre, it's really no surprise that people have come up with a whole range of theories, right? They go from the truly out of this world to the scientifically plausible, all trying to explain the unexplainable.
The explanations really fall into two big camps. On one side, you've got all the paranormal theories, alien abductions, wormholes sucking ships into another dimension, maybe even some weird energy from the lost city of Atlantis. But then, on the other side, scientists have proposed more grounded ideas, like sudden, extreme weather, powerful electromagnetic fields, or even the unique nature of the Gulf Stream current.
So let's look at one of the leading scientific theories. electromagnetic pulses. Some scientists believe this area has a uniquely powerful electromagnetic field. And this field could be strong enough to completely throw off navigation systems, which would explain why so many pilots and sailors reported their compasses just spinning wildly right before they disappeared. It lines up perfectly with those eyewitness accounts.
Now, a more recent theory, and this one's based on satellite images, points to something in the sky: hexagonal clouds. Seriously, meteorologists have seen these bizarre straight-edged cloud formations over the triangle. The theory is that these clouds can create what they call air bombs. Basically, they're microbursts, these sudden, incredibly powerful blasts of air that shoot down toward the ocean with winds up to 170 miles per hour. That's more than enough to generate massive waves and flip ships over or knock planes right out of the sky.
But what if the answer is way simpler than all that? What if there's no mystery at all? Some researchers argue that the entire legend of the Bermuda Triangle is just an illusion, something born from a little bit of exaggeration and a lot of coincidence.
See, here's the crucial piece of the puzzle that often gets left out of the story. Far from being some empty, dangerous no-go zone, the Bermuda Triangle is actually a superhighway for the sea and sky. It's one of the most heavily trafficked shipping lanes and flight paths on the entire planet. And this is where the statistics really come into play. When you look at the actual numbers, thousands of successful, safe journeys happen through that area every single day. The number of unexplained incidents, well, it's statistically tiny in comparison.
So what does this really mean? It means that for every one story of a vanished ship, there are hundreds of thousands of stories of ships and planes that made it through with no problem at all. And with that much traffic in an area that's known for hurricanes and the powerful Gulf Stream, some accidents are simply bound to happen.
Okay, so where does that leave us? We've got these compelling, absolutely chilling stories of complete disappearance on one hand, and then cold, hard data that suggests it's all just a myth on the other. Let's just break it down. On the side of mystery, you have this sheer number of people who've disappeared. You have those iconic cases like the USS Cyclops and Flight 19, where not a single piece of wreckage has ever been found. And you have all those consistent reports about instruments going haywire. But the case for an illusion is also really strong. The area's heavy traffic means some accidents are just statistically guaranteed. Researchers have also shown that a lot of the stories got exaggerated over time. And maybe the biggest clue? No official map anywhere in the world actually recognizes the Bermuda Triangle.
In the end, it all comes back to this one point. Accidents happen at sea all the time. Storms sink ships. But the thing that has fueled this legend for over a century is the completeness of the disappearances. The real mystery isn't just that things are lost, it's that they seem to be totally erased from existence, leaving no wreckage, no bodies, and zero answers.
Which brings us to the final question. After hearing all the evidence, what do you think? Is the Bermuda Triangle just a collection of tall tales, coincidences, and human error that got blown up into a legend? Or is there a genuine, unexplained scientific phenomenon at work in that patch of ocean? A puzzle we just haven't figured out yet. The answer, it seems, is still lost somewhere out there in the deep.